Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. My name is Dalton and today we're going to be talking about A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This film has Tom Hanks playing the infamous Mr. Fred Rogers, and this film is about a journalist who is hired to write an article about Fred Rogers, and this journalist is known for sort of classic hit pieces or finding to dig up dirt on people. But as he interviews Mr. Rogers, he slowly realizes that he really is the person he is on television and is not necessarily playing a character. And Mr. Rogers senses a lot of problems within this young man and actually tries to help him through the interviews. Let's get some major positives out of the way first. Obviously, Tom Hanks fucking kills it in this movie. He is so good as Mr. Rogers. From everything to just his charm, his presence, to the mannerisms. He walked and did the same hand motions as Mr. Rogers, and it was just incredible to see such an iconic actor accept that role with such grace. Also, the film is filled with wonderful moments. There are some glorious shots, there are some wonderful scenes, there's a particular scripted dialogue sequence that was very, very emotionally hitting. But the problem with the movie is that while it has all these great things, it is very inconsistent. Now, I don't think this is a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it is disappointing compared to how great I think the movie could have been. While there are great scripted moments, there are also some dialogue moments that feel very, very Hallmarky. And you can have a movie that has a great heart without kind of pandering and being like a Hallmark film, but this movie does kind of fall into that Hallmark trap a lot. Also, the shot construction was very baffling to me, especially upon the first half of the film. The editor kind of tried very hard to give some feeling and emotion to a scene with some editing tricks, but I think it just all came down to the shots that were constructed. Now, the good thing is every time Tom Hanks came on screen, you weren't even thinking about it because you were just sucked into the film by how good Tom Hanks is. Tom Hanks really was a huge positive on this movie. Like, I know I've said it before, but I can't emphasize enough how important Tom Hanks is to the good things about this film. Now, I'm going to say something that's not revealed in the trailers, but I don't necessarily consider it a spoiler. It's just how the film is constructed. But I need to address it to sort of really get my full feelings across, so I'll say mild spoiler for the movie. This film is told from the perspective of Mr. Rogers doing an episode of his show, and he's sort of going into the life of the main character. And at the beginning, I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. But the transition scenes and a lot of the, in-between parts of the movie are like the recreated sets from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood with this guy's life. Now, that's very cool on a surface level, but as someone who's trying to get really emotionally invested into this film, every time it cut to, the obviously fake sets that was trying to bring you into the world, it kept pulling me out. Every time that happened, for me personally, it would pull me out of the film. Now, I know some people are going to really dig that, they're going to love it, and that's great. I think that can work great for people. I love when films take risks and try different things. Just in this particular scenario, it didn't necessarily work for me. Ultimately, with a very strong supporting performance by Tom Hanks and strong performances all around, it does overcome some cheesy dialogue and poor shot construction with sequences of amazing shot construction and incredible dialogue. The movie is unfortunately inconsistent, but inconsistent doesn't always mean bad. I'm going to give A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood a B. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.